Do 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 do. Break yourself. Yo, what up, fam? Let's do this thing. What's good? What's going down? Woo! Ric Flairing and always staring down my opponents down the barrel of a gun. Let's do what we do, because I do what I do for you. Yo, Afro Tuck Nation, it's your boy. Let's get this cracking. Madame Webb, non-spoiler review. You know what we do. Now pull up. Boom! Hey.
Like a brother saying, give me more. 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 Give me more.
Hey, what it is, what it does, what it do. How you doing, folks? Yes. Madame Webb, opening night, dropped last night on the game. Your boy was in the field and trying to do his thing, watching a movie, doing what we do, having a good time, eating popcorn with the crew. Yes, so this is oh my goodness, can't even speak English this morning. This is my non-spoiler review. What was the movie like? What was it good? What was my Afro picks? What are the expectations? How did it do? Well, first and foremost, let me say, it was a fun watch. It was something to get down to. I know, you probably hear me say that a lot, but this one actually was a fun watch because I came in with lots and lots of expectations, seeing what Sony was going to do. This was Sony's opportunity to get Spider-Man's Tom Holland, all the other two Spider-Mans, Venom and Morbius, all tied in together to start their own Marvel Cinematic Universe outside of the Disney world, but to also be able to connect the Disney world to everything. So, as you probably already know, there's a couple of characters and key pieces you're going to meet and be introduced to. You are going to meet certain family members and friends throughout this movie. The connection to the Spider-Man universe is well documented and seen. This was actually closest to the comic book that you could possibly get by trying to make it a reality piece, which was very interesting because a lot of times directors kind of go in another direction. But this being the story, because it is a kind of a weird connection on how it is done in the comic book world. In the comic books, there is a group called the Spider Society. They're the ones that put all these pieces in place outside of the Peter Parker edition and Miles Morales edition. But you do get connection to Miles Morales in this movie. Got to pay attention. You do get connection to this Peter Parker Spider-Man connection. That's also connected in here. How they went about the story. It was not rushed. It didn't feel like it was overwhelmed. It didn't feel like it was too much information to gather in. She actually did very well as Madame Webb. They did connect it to where you get the Madame Webb that you're going to get, that we've seen in Spider-Man The Amazing Friends, The Amazing Spider-Man, and the Madame Webb that you get in the comic books. So there's never a point up to where you're like, okay, they're going to change up the character. They gave you the character the way she's supposed to be. You already know that the other three girls are going to be Spider-Women or Spider-Woman or Spider whatever in the future. And they did not rush that piece. They left it quite open so that you know that this is going to be a franchise piece, that they're actually going to do multiple movies and shows with this. They actually left it open that they can build other characters with it, other Spider-Verses, other pieces to really go into depth. This also left it open that you may eventually get a live action Miles Morales. Bruh, can we say yes, indeed? We need that. How many Afro picks? How many Afro picks does it get? I give it 3.7 Afro picks. Yes, a very high score for a movie of this caliber that Sony usually botches. You can keep up with everything that's going on. You're never truly confused. I like that they left it. They give you a part of the story in the beginning, and then finish off the story in the middle or close to the end, as well as give you the backstory of the characters. I also like that because Spider-Man had not been yet introduced to the universe because he was not yet here, because this is a prequel to Spider-Man. This kind of opens up the door to Spider-Man being who he is and why the city acts the way they act later on with Spider-Man, and not really trusting who he is with that particular nature. So you have opened up so many different things, especially now that we know most of the world doesn't know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man anymore. Matter of fact, most of the people that Spider-Man work with doesn't know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man no more. So you've really given Madame Webb the things that she needs to really integrate her piece in here. We know Venom 3 is coming. We know that Kraven the Hunter is coming. And we know that Deadpool is coming in July. So all these things come into factor based on what they do with this movie and how they did it and the connections that you get with it. You really get to know Madame Webb for who she is, where she comes from, what she's about. You really start to find out the other 3 girls that are going to be the Spider-Women that's going to be in this universe. But you don't get a full level of who they are yet, because they left it open for not interpretation but for expansion, and that's what I really enjoyed about this piece of this movie right here. It's not overwhelmingly trying to throw comedy in there. I thank God for that, because sometimes you're trying to be funny and you ain't. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't do none of that in there. So I think you'll enjoy this. I think you'll have fun with this. I think you'll really like how they went about it, and be pleasantly surprised that Sony has finally put together a couple projects that are actually doable in the Marvel Universe, and that we can actually sit down and see that they get a little piece of the Marvel franchise money. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, check this out, see what you're saying, and then we can go from there. You know what I mean?
Later.
Okay, just a little bonus piece for those that saw the video yesterday on the Fantastic Four. So here's our Reed Richards. This is Pascal Pedro. I don't know why I'm trying to say his last name like he's anyway. Here's Pedro. This is Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic is the brains of the operation. He's the most intelligent man in the group. His powers is to be able to stretch and reform his body into anything that he needs to do. Elastic size wise, he's like a giant rubber band, but his biggest power is his brain. He is a top-notch scientist who is very, very, very skilled and intelligent. He creates most of the things that the Fantastic Four does or uses in battles and fights. He is also the one that makes the big dog decisions when it comes down to it. Sometimes he is too smart for his own good, and it gets in his way, and it makes him a little awkward. You know what I mean? Now, let's look at Sue Storm. You know what I'm saying? This is Mrs. Fantastic. This is our actress that's going to be playing Sue Storm. This is who's coming into the game, Mrs. Kirby. You know what I'm saying? She is going to be coming into this as the girlfriend, love interest, eventual wife of Mr. Fantastic. Her powers are invisibility, and she can create force fields and shields around her, not only her body, but things around her to protect those that she loves. She is the heart of the Fantastic Four. She is the one that keeps the team together. Because a lot of times there's a lot of arguments and a lot of discollaboration and a lot of confusion that is going on in here. And with that being said, somebody needs to be the voice of reason. Well, this is her. This is the one that's going to have to keep everything on the calm and on the up and on the go. So we'll see how she does as Sue Storm, Mrs. Fantastic. Okay, now we have Johnny Storm. Yes, this is our guy. This is the man that's going to be Johnny Storm. He is the one that is going to be the hothead. I guess he's the fighter. He's the trash talker. You know what I'm saying? What is his powers? He can turn his body into a full-blown ball of fire. He can also expel those particular fire blasts from his hands, as well as the power of flight. He is like the trash talker. He's the mouth of the Fantastic Four. He is also the brother of Sue Storm. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of makes him the brother-in-law eventually of Reed Richards. You know what I'm saying? He's also the one that's the most immature of the group. He is the one that usually is getting everybody in trouble because he don't know how to think. He's all action, no brain. You know what I'm saying? He's all about the party style and not about the get down style. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to be interesting to see this guy. Like I said in Stranger Things, he came off as a geek and a nerd and somebody that was just like, kind of crazy. So we'll see how he does. And last but not least, we have The Thing. Yes, it's clobbering time. That's my dude. This is the man that can go toe to toe, sometimes blow for blow with the Hulk. They tend to get into it sometimes. He is the best friend of Reed Richards. Ben is his actual name, but The Thing is what they call him as here. He is also a pilot. Also very intelligent as for tactical. He should have military style background, very astronaut training, all that fun stuff. So he's the one that can handle all the gadgets that Mr. Fantastic comes up with, as well as he's good in the fight. You know what I'm saying? He's the man that's going to take it to you. Yeah, I got to take it to your face. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be your guy. So this is a full force of the Fantastic Four. I want to know your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think they could be a good team? Do you think that these four actors can come together and actually put together the squad? Well, we gonna see and we gonna find out really soon. Matter of fact, 2025, next year in July, you know where I'm gonna be at. But as for right now, if you see your mans in the streets, hit them with the beats. Hit them with a jingle jangle, baby. Jingle jangle.
Listen to me now.